sun's getting ready to drop over the ocean on a Monday night, and we are, if you're a sports fan and you've watched any of the NBA games going on right now, you've watched the Spurs and the Heat kind of battle back and forth, and nobody can really keep momentum. They get it, but they lose it. And if you're a hockey fan, you've watched, the Blackhawks win the first game, then the Bruins win the second game, and who's going to win the third game, and the College World Series. There's baseball going on. So if you're in the sports, if you're in the competition, the world is competing right now all over the place in the sports world. But we're all fighting as well. We're fighting our own lives. And what's so fun about what's happening with Rippln is we just went over 866,000 people. We're just over 60 days in this buzz phase. We're kind of coming down the backstretch if you're in the horse racing. We're kind of coming down the backstretch of this buzz phase, getting ready to continue the go live sequence. And we've invited the founder, the creator, the visionary guy, a friend of mine that put the whole darn thing together and really just jump on the call with Ripplemania around the world, which is who's on this line, and just chat with us, talk to us about where we're at right now. So give us some nuggets on keeping our head straight and really gearing up to get momentum to go win this race. So, Brian, if you're on, can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. You sound awesome. Glad to have you on the line. How's things?
Well, it is great to be on the line. I wish I was out in San Diego in paradise with you looking out over the ocean. That sounds like fun. So we're here in Louisville, Kentucky with it pouring down rain, but a lot of things to be excited about. It's funny, Michael, when you were just talking, about actually something, in terms of sports and athletics, and you're talking about something in terms of competing and how right now they're in the NBA Finals. That means that they last year went through a preseason, they went through conditioning, then they went through the beginning of the season, the middle of the season, then they went through the playoffs, and they were able to survive all of that to go into the finals. And before that, what they were doing was putting their team together, and they were, strategizing of how they were going to execute in their game plan throughout the season. And then once preseason happened or the beginning of the season, they had to make some audibles or some calls based on players going into injured reserves and different things of that nature. And I believe that athletics is a lot like business. And no matter what business that we're in today, no matter what we're doing, we're constantly competing, and we're constantly doing those exact same things. We're looking to develop our team. Then once we have our team in place, we're looking to manage the personalities on that team. And then once we get into the environment of putting the team together and the ball is tipped and the game is on, then all of a sudden we have to deal with the environments and the plays that are thrown at us. And, to me it's exciting. That's what business is all about. It's about, being able to withstand and go through the entire season. I believe in today's marketplace, so many of us become so instant gratification oriented because of everything surrounding us. We forget that the only way to go win a championship is to stick with the fundamentals and stay the course. And, with that being said, I can tell you that all of you that are on this telephone line, have seen us go through this preseason stage, which we're calling our buzz phase. And I think this has been the most exciting time because it's really the evolution and the anticipation of what we're getting ready to embark on, this journey that we're getting ready to go forward with. And that's, really for a lot of us, we've also seen people that have gone through this process and they haven't been able to make it through this conditioning of this preseason stage. But I can tell you they're all looking at this team, and they're all looking at how we're going to attack the season once we go live. And one of the cool things about it is we're so close in the upcoming weeks to doing what, we believe people are going to see as true innovation in the marketplace. And we've been working diligently behind the scenes. And, yes, we have had to call some audibles, Michael. We've had to pivot just a tad. And the reason for that is because of the, number one, just the vast number of fans and players that we are looking to accommodate. It's almost like we're going to build a new arena because our arena seated 20,000 and we had 100,000 show up for the ball game. We need a bigger arena to play. And so that's one of the reasons why we've pushed back going live. Probably, by the time we go live, it'll be about 30 to 40 days that we've had to push back. Our initial intent was to go through this rollout sequence in this buzz phase for 60 days. And our goal was 100,000 people in 60 days. I think that, we're at like 60, 65 or 67 days right now, and we just hit, like you said, over 800,000. And so obviously the conversation that we're having in the marketplace is a conversation that's resonating with people because of the mission that we're on. The mission we're on is for people to take back their social grasp, for people to be able to get paid the value that they have in the marketplace. And for all of us listening, we've all been on each and every one of these calls. We've all seen a lot of the media. And I can tell you right now, it's really about getting associated with your team right now. Find out the team that you have, so when the ball is tipped and the ball goes up, which one of the people that are in your Rippln, which one of those are going to play, which one of those are going to be powered up. And to give everyone really a lay of the land, this is something I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'll go ahead and tell you that the timelines have been pushed because of several things. Number one, merchants, which I've had internal calls with Michael and Larry and Mike and Nino and some others. But, number one is when we first rolled out in the buzz phase, we went to our bankers and our merchants because we were anticipating a certain amount of commerce to happen once we went live. Well, whenever we grew by literally 10 times what we thought we were going to, we had to go back to them, renegotiate, go back to the underwriters, which is an entire process. The second thing is that we were, like a lot of is we were architecting a bigger boat or a bigger stadium to fill everybody in. And so right now you're going to see us turn more into the marketing side, which we've been talking about in June. And literally the first week of July is when we're going to start taking applications, when we're going to start doing all of the power-ups. Now, that is unless we have any other glitches. We don't anticipate it. We're 99% positive that that's when we're going to go live, and that's when people can start powering up to be players. And so what we're going to do from this point moving forward is to start realigning a marketing focus and marketing initiative because we are so close. So one of the things that you're going to see this week, we're finalizing some of the final components on some of the media for the new rewards plan. So that's something that you all can actually get behind. We'll put a campaign behind it to really execute it and push it into a viral component. And then the second component of that is we're going to look to initiate what we call a blitz campaign this week. We were looking to do it last week, but we wanted to be a little bit closer to the go live date. So you're going to see information on that this week. And what is a blitz link? A blitz link is you're going to have one link. You're going to be able to send that to, if you have a list of 500 people, you don't have to one-to-one invite them. And what we'll do is really make this a campaign. So we don't know what the parameters of the campaign might be. It might be if you've sent out 5 invites and got them back, you'll qualify for a 4-day blitz where you can literally blitz as many people as you want in 4 days. Or it might be that you've had to ripple up. We're not sure what that campaign that we're going to designate for the first blitz to go out, but we are going to look to set that up and tee that up for later on this week. That's something that we're super excited about. And then rolling into the go live, what we're going to do is literally open it up for people in the first Rippln to be able to power up, second Rippln, and then we'll probably do it by date stamp. And we will be doing this based on a VIP registration process. So this will all be done via your inbox. It won't be a free for all. It will actually be the go live sequence will be literally it will be in a controlled environment through a VIP process through your inbox. So we'll give more details of that as we get closer to that event. And then as we roll out that sequence, that will roll all the way into August 1st. And August 1st, what we're looking to do is really blow people's minds from a perspective of what they're going to see. And then, of course, of June, obviously, we're going to start doing a lot of presentations on commerce, the interactivity of it. You're going to be able to see that in a demo environment. And then August 1st, we're going to make some big releases at the Rippln Unleashed event. We're super excited about that in Dallas, Texas. So that's kind of the state of play in terms of what's upcoming in the upcoming weeks. And I can tell you that the greatest gift anyone could give you, or the greatest compliment, I shouldn't say the greatest gift, one of the greatest compliments that anyone could give you is by imitation or by repeating your words or by, replicating your idea. And what's amazing, Michael, is I've already seen people literally going out in the marketplace trying to reinvent or trying to reframe some of the marketing that we have already shown the major success in the last 60 days, such as the NDA process and the invite system, where people are doing it as a confidentiality agreement and things of that nature. And so, what I think is, for everyone that's listening in, as competitors, as players, is we're already leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of people out there, and our focus is truly to do something to where we can do something that hasn't been done. And in order to do that, the one thing that we have been very cognizant of this entire time is making sure that we put something out there that is not only clean, but it's compliant, and it's also something that can sustain the type of growth and impact that we're seeing. And so the two pieces of advice that I would tell you is, number one, is stay in constant activity, stay in constant touch. Number two, be the gatekeeper of your own mind, is that successful people are their own energy. Successful people are individuals that insulate themselves from all of the outside influences because they have a focused target, and they're laser focused on that target until they hit it. And what I can tell you is the environment that we're in today in a home-based business, whatever you want to call it, there's so many different opportunities. There's so many different people pulling at you, trying to plant seeds of doubt. Is that the reality of it is most people deny something until it becomes evident. Then once it becomes evident, it's usually too late to take advantage of what people had in front of them in the first place. And my point by saying that is this, is right now you are creating what is going to be evident to the rest of the world. There's a ton of buzz taking place. There's a lot of skepticism. There's a lot of critics. There's a ton of voyeurs watching in at the game that we're playing. But I can tell you that no one else's opinion matters, or no one else's opinion can dictate the outcomes and the success that we can have together. And so, those are really, and it doesn't matter what you are. If you just take that philosophy with anything that you're doing, a leader is someone that can generate his own energy in his own validation and then stay the course. And in today's marketplace, I can tell you it's very hard to do that, and that's something that our team is doing, behind the scenes, is staying the course. And sometimes we get very anxious because of all of the market demand that you guys have created. It literally doesn't feel like a 60-day storm. It feels like that, this has been a 2 or 3 year avalanche because of that market demand. So, we're super excited. More importantly, we're excited about connecting with each and every one of you, and hopefully reconnecting with you in Dallas, and then also seeing what we believe is going to be some of the biggest impact in terms of cash flow and what, people are going to make in those first 30 to 60 days. But, truly it is going to be, I believe, your inner game right now and your ability to stay connected not only with Michael and some of the other leadership, but also continue to lead your teams, continue to build their vision. Without a vision, people perish. And so it's very important that you keep articulating that vision and also keep reminding yourself of where it is that you're going, because this platform that we're building is a platform, but the platform doesn't do anything without people connecting on a one-on-one basis and then creating that ripple effect literally globally. So last week was an amazing week. We had some people into Dallas. I went out to California, met with some individuals in the movie industry, as well as working on some of our coaching rewards products that you guys are going to be seeing coming out. We also had an individual in that's going to be doing some press with us. We did a lot of filming in the offices, and so I can tell you he left, and he's someone that people look at to get news from the home-based business industry, and he was completely blown away by our team, our vision, and really, what we're headed to do. So it was refreshing hearing from someone on the outside coming in based on his perception of who we were and what we were, and after spending an entire day with us, how he left, and all of his feedback since. So, I can tell you that we're super excited, Michael. I don't know if you have any questions for me directly. But what I would do right now is I would stay in what I call phase one, which is constant activity. The one thing that you can control is your activity, your energy, your focus, and your attitude at all times. And I would literally put the hammer down right now and get ready for some of these new marketing campaigns, get focused on this Blitz link, how you can aggregate the biggest list you can to start engaging. Then once you start engaging that new campaign, how can you really mobilize some of those individuals and start training behind them? So with that being said, Michael, I don't know if you have any other questions for me or not, but shoot if you do.
Oh, man, it's funny. I love jumping on calls. I'm an avid note taker, so I just got legal pads full of pen marks when I listen to a lot of these nuggets. One of the things that's been really exciting to watch happen is you guys just posted it today and emailed it out, is the story of Waze getting purchased by Google for over $1 billion and then Tumblr for over $1 billion by Yahoo a week ago. I think the main thing, I don't have a question about it, but maybe just kind of the last thing you might mention is just how much larger this story is getting today than it was even 60 days ago when we started, because of globally what's been happening in that industry.
Well, I mean, I think number one, people just have to recognize and understand, what we're doing right now and what we're looking to move into and is really educational marketing. And what I mean by that is the more people gain an awareness of what's going on, then they can have a broader understanding of the power that they have in their hands. And the reality of it is I know we have a lot of sharp people on this telephone line, but the reality of it is that one of the reasons why this movement took off the way it did was because of the level of awareness we gave people through educational marketing, through our media pieces. And, just like you said, these transactions like Maze have been happening for the last 3 years. And really the last 8 years if you look at some of the internet movements. And so, but where most of us, we get caught up in our everyday lives doing what we're doing, we don't realize that the power behind all of these companies, yes, their technology is unbelievable, and they spend a ton of money on engineers. But the reason they can get that money is because they also get the ability to go viral based on the power of people. And so, I think that one of the reasons why we're starting to drip more and more information out there like that is so people can truly understand the educational perspective of what their power is, what their ability is in the marketplace, and how companies count on them to be a part of their marketing efforts. They just don't give us as consumers, which we're all consumers, they don't give us the ability to participate in the profits and the rewards. That's why our platform, our business model is so different, is we're not looking to be a gimmick. We're not looking to be a network marketing company. Matter of fact, one of the main individuals that was the president of the DSA, the Direct Selling Association, he said, the way I see your model right now, and an individual that was in last week, he said this, he said, the way I see your model right now, according to the DSA guidelines, is the Direct Selling Association or multi-level marketing, which is governed by that in a way, is it's about a company selling its own product, meaning I have my own juice. I have my own weight loss product, and I'm going to directly sell that through distributors, and I'm going to pay those distributors through multi-levels. Well, the reality of it is that we don't have our own product, so we don't have distributors. And, in terms of our pay plan, yes, we are paying through multi-levels, or what we call cooperatively paying rewards and rewarding you for the social graph. But the reality of it is what we're really wanting to pay is for the eyeballs that you can acquire and the activities that those eyeballs do. And so, if people get a snapshot of that, is this isn't just a little gimmicky product. We could have put that out there and launched that literally within 30 days or 60 days. What our focus is really reinventing social sharing, commerce, and what we're calling incentivized sharing. And, that platform that we're developing is a platform. Right now, you have the app in your hand. There's two types of apps. There's native apps, and there's HTML5 apps that are web-based apps, even that are in the iTunes store, because it gives them a lot more control. But I want people to truly understand the difference in an app and a platform. We're looking at this as bigger than just the functions of one app, because the platform is what truly can connect all of us and allow us to social share through the other platforms, that are in place, and then get rewards based on the people that accept those offers or do the different engagement that we're looking for them to do, and we just have the tracking system to track all that activity and to gamify that entire process. So, that's just more of the same information I know a lot of you've gotten, but I can tell you right now that we have not taken our foot off the gas, and we have people literally working on this project. When I say around the world, literally around the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just like a lot of you, we have a lot of people that have put their lives on hold to support you, meaning that you don't see, you might not ever meet, because they also understand, what we're doing isn't small. And I believe that big visions move people. And, that's what our vision is. And so, we're looking to get started. We're anxiously awaiting, once we go live and rolling into August, and then, on into the fall. So what I can tell you is if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I believe the best way to stay connected is stay connected with the people that are leading the charge, like Michael Rutherford, like, Michael or Larry or Mariah or Nino, for instance, and really plug in to that as a conduit of understanding. And, if you need broader understanding, you want, more direction, just reach out and ask for it. And, we're definitely here to support and to make some big things happen. So with that being said, Michael, I appreciate you having me on the call. I don't know if there's anything else I can answer or go through, but I'm here.
That's good, man. That's good. I'm super appreciative of you spending some time with us on the line. I think definitely right now is the time to double down with our efforts, not, like you had said, it's the absolute best time to really dive in, build glue work with the people that you have, find out who's going to be a player on the field with you. That way, as we get closer to the go-live sequence, you've got more people ready to step up and play a big role instead of trying to figure it out. So I appreciate you diving into those nuggets. I know everybody's excited about a couple of things that you mentioned, the rewards video, the Blitz link, and certainly, us going live here.
Well, there's so much. I can tell you within I'm always trying to be conservative because there's so many moving parts behind the scenes. I talked about this earlier with a group of guys today. If you're a business person and you've been behind the scenes in a project this big, you understand what's going on. But for a lot of people, they haven't. And so so things are changing constantly every single day. There's so many moving parts, and that one adjustment and one moving part can affect a lot of the ecosystem. But one thing that I can tell you is that you're going to see a lot of advancements and enhancements in the platform. I'll be conservative and say in the next 10 to 14 days. Literally, when you log in to see your invite page, you're going to see completely different, completely enhanced experience back there. And so I know a lot of people are anxiously awaiting new things to happen and moving forward. But remember that your value and the way you're going to get rewarded truly is going to be based and predicated on the growth of your Ripple, the ripple effect you can create within that Ripple. So the number one thing you can focus on is focus on your team. Focus on the skill sets that you have in order to influence, keep your team connected, and keep growing that team globally, because those that have the biggest team, and what I really believe is the greatest glue within their team, meaning the greatest community within that team, then that team, I think, will flourish and see more rewards, tangible rewards, quicker because of that continuity that they've been able to develop. And that's really what the 60 days was about. The 60 days was about for everyone to be able to go out and get their initial key team members, initiated to this conversation and an understanding of what's to come, and allowing them to, sand off the edges or sharpen their sword. So once we go live, that they almost become trained ninjas. They become trained assassins in the market, to where they understand the story, they've experienced it, they've gone through it, they understand the conversation, and they have a team that they're leading with, not just themselves. So it's giving you a head start, on the game. And keep this in mind. I know people that have, joined or participated in movements, and they've come along 2 to 3 years into the game, 4 or 5 years into the game, and within 12 months they've been making $100,000 a month. Is one of the things that I just want to reiterate is that you're the genesis of what is going to become. You're the genesis, and we're all going to start. The question is, who is going to finish the race of what we're starting? And so, that right now is who's the team that's going to start. And then once we get in that process, then it's going to be, okay, who's going to see the job through? Who's going to put it in the end zone? And so right now, keep in mind, we've been in pregame. We've been in conditioning. And, hopefully that's where your mindset's been. And, I know so many people, they want to start the season. Well, guess what? We're not ready to start the season yet. The floor isn't on, the gym isn't finished. We got to complete, we got to make sure that the floor is built so we can dribble the basketball and get the goals up. And I'm just using that as a metaphor, an analogy to remember that, but we can keep working on our game, because the more work we can put in right now, the greater the results are going to be once the ball is tipped. So with that being said, Michael, I have a call at 9:30 that I got to jump into, but if there's anybody who has any questions, don't hesitate to email me, Brian at Rippln. I say that a lot, and sometimes I hear from people, sometimes I don't. Last couple of weeks has been crazy for me, but I can tell you that the squeaky wheel truly gets the grease, and we want to make sure that we support you guys, give you all the avenues that you need in order to be successful. And, for those that are going to start with us, we can tell you how much we appreciate you seeing what we see and believing what we believe. And, here's the one thing that I'll tell you is that we have only just begun.
I love it. We'll hop on your other call, man. I appreciate you taking some time and jumping on with us for 30 minutes tonight. And, guys, just a little housekeeping. Tomorrow morning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m., Pacific, we've got really, really, really killer content with some brand new people in Ripplmania that have just in the last handful of days dropped in 30 people, 50 people, 100 people. We're going to have somebody jump on that in their first week put in over 300 people, and going into the specific details of what they're doing to get their groups built. What are they saying? What are they not saying? How are they saying it? Who are they saying it to? I mean, really keeping it simple. And then we've got another couple people whose groups just went over 600, just went over 1,000, and they're going to talk very specifically about what they're doing with their teams to help their teams break those thresholds. So, Brian, again, thanks a ton for being on the line tonight. We've got a killer lineup and week scheduled after tomorrow's noon Ripplmania team call. We will also have the company-wide state of play call tomorrow evening. So stay plugged in. Appreciate you again being on the line. Nino, thanks so much for hosting. Appreciate everybody being on tonight. This call was recorded. We'll send out the recording just in a few minutes for those international people that couldn't get on. But other than that, have an awesome, awesome, awesome night. Thanks so much. See ya.